January 11th at 1 p.m. at our Barataria location, 7th Avenue between 8th and 9th Streets. Come support our youth as they share their social entrepreneurship ideas developed within the Kalinda Futures program and learn how Trinidad and Tobago Sign Language, Trinidad and Tobago Patwa, and Trinidad and Tobago's very own sacred martial tradition, Kalinda, facilitated and supported their learning and growth. Come ready to participate and be a part of the community. Look forward to seeing you there.
Bois Academy of Trinidad and Tobago Kalinda Futures program is having a community sharing this coming Saturday, the 11th of January at 1 p.m. I'll get into the details with you a little bit later, but I just want to share with you now who we have in studio. The founder of Art on Purpose, Pointer, Bois Academy of TNC, Jamie J. Philbert, and Kevin Fodringham, founder and principal consultant of Eastyard Enterprises. Good morning to both of you and welcome.
Good morning.
How are you?
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to have you, and I am blessed. Thank you for asking. I hope that the new year is treating you well.
Yes,
So far, so good.
Yeah, and we can see that from some of the footage that has just been shared. It looks like very well attended, and a family coming out to that, which is so important. But before we get to what's happening on Saturday, can we just go back to the beginning of what is Kalinda Futures and how this came together?
So Kalinda Futures is a program that we developed based on Trinidad and Tobago Sign Language, Trinidad and Tobago Patwa, and Kalinda, looking at Kalinda as a language in order to foster a social entrepreneurship program for youth between the ages of 12 to 21.
And I mean, that's something that's so transformational as well. And I know that there would have been a lot of back work to be able to get it off the ground and bring it to fruition. So how was Eastyard involved in this?
Okay, so Eastyard Enterprises, our mission recently has been to focus on building the capacity of creative social entrepreneurs and then how we amplify their work. And we received a grant from the J.B. Fernandez Memorial Trust 1. And we decided to engage different creative social entrepreneurship partners. And the Bois Academy was one of these partners. And they came up with this, Kalinda Futures program. And we love the focus on youth. But really, the essence of it is building creative social enterprise, which I think is the future.
Oh, 100% agreed with you here. That's for sure. Now, you just had this 8-week cycle. Can you tell us a little bit about what the 8-week cycle was like? And maybe even walk us through, because I'm sure there's going to be another one, and there are people who are watching right now who'll be ready to come.
I'm going to walk you through, but I also want people to come on January 11th so they can experience what the children have experienced over those last 8 weeks. So the beginning of it was having a sensitization with the deaf community and the Patwa community, as well as the Kalinda community, to be able to understand each other. From that, we learned that there were so many similarities in what we're experiencing inside of the space as marginalized communities. After that, we realized that there would be deaf students attending the program, so some things had to change. So the program theme became Take Your Time. And Take Your Time was key inside of how we operated throughout the entire program. From Namdi Haj, who taught the Patwa classes, Namdi's used to teaching, hearing people where you can move at a particular pace.
Right.
And not that you can't move at a particular pace with deaf people. However, if you don't know sign language, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Right? So you have to slow down. Kalinda was a major part of the program. It helped with motor and cognitive skills for the students. And another major part of the program was knowledge of self. And we used that through mirror work with the students. So affirmations of I am brave, I'm smart, I'm beautiful, and doing that in sign language. Another great component was being able to translate 3 lavways into sign language. So, yeah, exactly. So it's a huge program. I think walking into it, it's not that we didn't know that it was huge.
Yeah.
It just became even more vast. And we realized that we had to kind of slow down, and still staying within what Kevin wanted us to do, we decided to continue the program for another year. So we developed this T-shirt.
T-shirts.
Coming out of the program that contains sign language, Kalinda saying take your time, which is also very Trinidad and Tobago, take your time, right? And at the bottom is pan tan u, right? Puantanu, which is Patwa for take your time.
Take your time.
Right. So the Take Your Time continues to be this blackboard now. If you purchase a T-shirt, part of the proceeds go to supporting a young person's business at the end of the year. So the t-shirts are not just for you to buy and put money in my pocket. It's not going to my pocket, it's going to these youth and 4 different businesses that they began to develop. They're in phase 1 of developing, because what we realized is the knowledge of self piece was so important. Their confidence levels grew throughout the program. People that were like this are now standing up like this, learning to not just be able to speak about their businesses in language, but visual learning language as well, right? And signing. So how each of the hearing students learn to sign, and even the deaf students inside of the program learning how to sign, how I would speak about this business that I've developed. So on Saturday, when people come, you'll experience a little bit of sign language, you'll experience a little bit of Patwa, and also, of course, Kalinda.
You know, it's so moving. I think that's one of the main things to take away. I'm so happy you brought the t-shirt as well, because it's something we know from the press release, speaking about this being a seed fund and moving forward and investing in the future. The 11th of January, of course, everybody can come out on the Saturday to enjoy. What about, you mentioned the transformation with some of the children. Well, let me not say all children, of course. With those who attended, you saw that transformation in them. Are there any particular successes that you have seen within this particular cycle that have said to you, yes, we are on the right path, we are doing the right thing, and we're moving forward into 2025?
I think one of the major things for me is the connections between Trinidad and Tobago sign language in particular. Patwa, the way that Patwa is set up as a language, and Kalinda, understanding Kalinda not just as a bushead thing, understanding it as oral tradition. Those 3 things connecting and seeing how it developed the children's character throughout the program, being able to explain things like take your time or different proverbs inside of the Kalinda complex, slowing down and teaching the lavas from the place of a visual language learning, and seeing that some of the signs actually match up how we move in Kalinda. So their transformation for me was an internal space, but it wasn't just them that transformed. I think each one of the facilitators in the program transformed, from our sign language instructor to our interpreter to myself to Rondell Benjamin and Namdi as well. Savon Fotheringham also joined us as one of the liaisons through East Yard, and I saw the change in Savon as well. Being able to play stick with the children, we didn't use the hardwood sticks that we normally use to play stick with. They got to experience that through tactile things, but what was key is having them use pool noodles. And the pool noodles were cool because then, you know, you could open up a little bit more, right? And feel secure inside of that. The other thing that we did is using the lavways and playing with the lavways as we would in stick. So being able to circle each other and challenge each other through that, and then through sign. I think that we overlook so many communities inside of Trinidad and Tobago, and for the children to be able to understand how to build a business with walking in with integrity and ethics and care and patience, not just for how they build a business, but with the communities that decide to engage.
I think everything that you mentioned there, particularly one of the things that has struck me, and I will definitely take away from this conversation, is the mirror work that you would have done with them as well, because it's not something that we see people, especially when we're coming into the entrepreneurship space. People tend to put that to the side. I
want to mention Verna St. Rose Greaves, because she was key inside of that. I've done mirror work before in past, but we've been talking about doing mirror work with children in Trinidad for the last year or so. And I had told her, I said, yeah, we're about to get these mirrors, you know. And she said, don't worry, you'll have your mirrors. And she puts out a call, and then we had some individual sponsors actually sponsor 3 huge mirrors for the children, because prior to that, we were using these little mirrors, or whatever the case may be, and they were doing handheld work. When they got the large mirrors, they sat and they actually together put it together, stood it up. Every person did not want to move out the mirror. Everyone is standing, look at themselves, you know, they started to sign in the mirror. So it was a huge and impactful thing for them to be able to see themselves, you know, and not just physically, but I think being able to like look into your own eyes, you know, and find something deeper.
Yeah, something that's so powerful as well. And for those of you who do have the time, you can go out on Saturday, 11th of January. If you don't have the time, make the time. It's at 1 p.m. on 7th Avenue between 8th and 9th in Barataria, the White Building across from St. George's College. Before we go, though, Kevin, let's talk a little bit more about ECR, the future, the connection, of course, that you have with the Bois Academy, and what we maybe can look forward to, if you could give it away. You know, sometimes you have to keep things under wraps.
Well, actually, we will be moving forward with the youth program.
Okay.
And we will be moving forward again with the Bois Academy in 2025 and some other organizations that we are already supporting. So it's Bois Academy, it's Art by Creative Design. They come out of San Fernando, and Jockey One. So Jockey One is a mass band. So what the mass band did is that similar to how they worked with kids, they taught children how to make sailor masks. And they are going to be presenting their sailor masks as part of Exodus Steel Orchestra's carnival presentation. So they have their own section. So again, that social entrepreneurship.
Something that
Art by Creative Design, they did an events management program. So it's really empowering these young people to use creative social entrepreneurship, but also it's about that personal work that Jamie spoke about, teaching them how to be better people, how to be their best selves. And it's all about being our best Trinidadian selves, because I think we need that so much right now.
I love that, yes.
Yeah. So we will be moving forward with the program. We will be bringing them back, and we will be expanding as well. So look forward to more art and social enterprise type initiatives coming out of ECR Enterprises.
Wonderful, and we look forward to seeing you on the show and having more conversations about that.
For sure.
Listen, before we wrap though, Jamie, I would love if you could close us off. Just have a look at this camera right here and tell Trinidad and Tobago about Saturday 11th and why they should come out.
You should definitely come January 11th at 1 p.m. Be a part of the community. Come sing with us, come dance with us, come learn a little bit of Trinidad and Tobago sign language. You never know when you will need it. Come learn some Trinidad and Tobago Patwa. It is not disappearing. We just have not engaged it in the ways that we should. So I hope to see you there. You could wear something cute or not, you know, whatever you decide to do, but show up.
That's the most important thing. Make sure that you show up. Jamie and Kevin, thank you so much for joining us this morning. All the best as you continue to grow and make changes in the community. Number one.
Thank you.
Blessings. Stay tuned. This is the Now Morning Show. We'll be back in a few moments after this break.